Today's guest is a reality TV baddie who made a huge impact in season 2 of Temptation Island on Netflix. Shyanne Blankenship!
Is this real f***ing life? Is it? They just came in there and they were like, we want you guys on the show.
Oh, we went to Trauma Island together.
Trauma Island, so she get attacked. I was really going to assault the man at the final bonfire. I tried after the show. I didn't do it for the cameras,
What did
but
you
I tried it
do?
after.
What did you do after the show?
I'm not the type of person that is going to go on social media and completely rip him apart and tear him to shreds. Jack is a great person and he is a great guy. He just has made bad decisions.
Well, I have a surprise for you.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
Hey, Jack.
How are you?
Welcome, Jack. When it comes to reality TV, I've got Dibs On This. Welcome to season 2 of Dibs On This, the podcast that goes beyond the reality TV edit to explore the real stories behind the stars you couldn't stop watching. Today's guest is a reality TV baddie who made a huge impact in season 2 of Temptation Island on Netflix. She entered the island in a 5-year relationship, carrying the weight of his cheating past, and then had to relive that drama over and over again at every bonfire in front of the world. But she brought honesty, raw emotion, and was never afraid to choose herself when things got tough. And trust me, things got tough. You know that.
I know.
I'm so excited to sit down, lock in, and dig a little bit deeper with the firecracker of her season, Shyanne Blankenship.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
What up, girl?
Hi.
Thank you so much for being on the pod.
Thank you for having me.
Means the world to me. Let's jump right in and talk about Temptation Island.
Okay.
Let's go back to the beginning of the entire process for you and why you even did the show in the first place. So can you talk to me about the casting process? Like, how did you even decide, hey, I want to do Temptation Island?
Jack is the one who convinced me to do the show. Like when he first brought it up to me, he was just like, I think that it would help our relationship. Like if I could get past this experience, like you have nothing to worry about anymore. Like why don't you just do it? And I feel like the reason I was pushing back on that is because deep down I kind of knew how things were going to play out. And so it was no. And then finally I was like, fine, I'll do it. And so we went through the interview process. We did a bunch of interviews and I was still a little wishy-washy on it. So I didn't show up to my final meeting with the executives because I was backing out. And Jack did his magic and got them to reschedule another interview with us.
Why did Jack want to do Temptation Island so bad? Like, what was his reasoning?
He was always just sick and tired of me, like, bringing up the past and just being like, I feel like I was always just jabbing. Like, I don't know. He was just like, let's just do it.
He's like, let's do it. We've already had some shit that we've gone through.
I think he really did think he could prove to me that he was going to be loyal. Like, I think deep down he thought, like, I'm going to ace this shit.
Right.
And it just didn't happen that way.
Right. Well, you got casted on the show, which is really exciting. And we'll jump into that in a second.
Yeah.
But before going on the show, right? What was your life? What was the everyday life of Shyanne?
Before Temptation Island, I started a business. I own mobile shaved ice trucks. And so that's just what I was doing. But we live in Kansas City, so it's cold in the winter. So you can only work it half the year. Yeah. And so that was just what I was doing for a job. And then
you started your own business. That's badass.
Yeah, I did.
At how old? How old were you?
I was 21.
That's incredible. Like
Yeah.
a 21-year-old starting their own business. That's sick.
Yeah, I don't
Why
know
shaved ice?
It's crazy because like I used to tell my mom because I used to always love shaved ice. And I used to always like in middle school and high school, I'm like, can we just like open one in our small little town? Like so many people will come. Like I thought it would be so fun to work. And she was just like, no. And then whenever I told her like, I'm not going to college. I don't want to go to college. She was like, fuck it. You're starting the business. And so that's how it came about.
So did you not go to college?
I went to college for a year and a half.
Okay.
And then I met Jack.
Dun,
And
dun,
then
dun.
and then I met Jack and we just spent every single day together and he really got it. He would just tell me like you don't need that to be successful, and I hated school so much. Like it was never my thing.
You didn't want to go in the first place.
And so I just stopped.
Do you still have the business?
I do.
So it's still running?
Yeah.
So what are you, 3-4 years in?
Yep.
That's awesome, Shy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
And that's another thing that I feel I didn't give Jack enough props for on the show. And I have to take some sort of accountability for that, is like, he really has helped me. And like without Jack, like I wouldn't have started that business. Like I wouldn't have really pushed myself to do that. And so I feel like I just didn't thank him enough for that, because he's worked all my events with me. He's helped me do it all. And I feel like on the show, I just really went in there like kind of hot-headed.
yeah. Well, that's the point of my podcast is for the people listening, to hear these bits and pieces, like the deeper side of your story, of your relationship with Jack, of your life. Who is Shyanne, you know?
Right.
Who is Shyanne with Jack? Who is Shyanne without Jack, you know? And that's a perfect example of like, yeah, on the show, you didn't know that like I actually really appreciated Jack, and he was really embedded in my life. And
Because a lot of it gets
me.
cut.
Yeah, a lot of it gets cut because it's more just about like your romance and the feelings and like what you guys are going through like emotionally.
Right.
But I will say like the one thing that was made very clear on the show, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were like this, like, you know, 5 years, super young when you started dating. So of course you're like locked into each other's lives.
Yeah.
But I don't think people knew that like he helped you with your business. I don't even think people knew you had a business, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's so cool. Well, good for you.
Thank you.
And I guess good for Jack for helping you. But not good for Jack for how he treated you.
Right.
But you guys sat down and agreed to fly to Hawaii and be on Temptation Island.
I feel like I only agreed because I had hope that we were going to get sent home.
Right.
Like I loved Jack so much, but I knew how things were going to play out if we got on the show.
So when they told you you're on the show,
Uh-huh.
it's official. What went through your head?
Oh my God, I will never forget. They just came in there and they were like, we want you guys on the show. And my initial like reaction was just like, oh fuck. And Jack's like over there jumping on the bed, like freaking out. Like, this is so great. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, no.
The camera loves you, Shy. You're a star. You're an absolute star.
What a shame.
Growing up, and you know, you grew up in the generation of reality TV always being very popular and around, and a genre of television, no doubt about that. Did you ever imagine yourself being on reality TV?
Never in my life. Never. I didn't think I could ever get in front of cameras. And just seeing myself on Netflix when I was watching it, I was like, no way that's me. Like, I look good.
You do look good, girl. You do look good. But
I was like, fuck whatever happened on the show. Like, look at me.
Everybody who knows who watched Temptation Island season 2, that you and Jack had been together for 5 years prior to filming. Anyone who is listening for the first time, now you know. But let's talk about your relationship with Jack before coming into the house and filming. What was it like? 5 years. When did you guys start dating? How old were you? Like, I want to know everything.
So we first hooked up when I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
So we have been like, even past like the dating, like we were always like messing around with each other and like always hanging out like at a very young age. And then eventually we just decided to make it official. And we literally have like, since we never left each other's sides. Like when I tell you like me and Jack were together 24/7, like I talked about a little bit on the show, how it was unhealthy, but literally if he went to go get gas in the car, I was with him to go get gas in the car. If he worked a job, I worked that same job. Like we were never apart. We've always lived together. Like we got an apartment, I think it was like 4 months into us dating, and we lived together ever since. So
he's like technically been in your life for like 7 years, right? Because you're 24 now.
Yeah.
And like you said, you admitted that on the show that you guys were a little codependent of one another.
Very much so.
Was there any like specific challenges that you wish the show addressed about you and Jack's relationship that didn't? Or do you think it kind of depicted you guys pretty honestly?
I think the show did a good job of really showing how toxic we were.
You know,
it did a very good job of that, almost too good. But other than just like how much we truly did love each other, like I feel like it was more based around how toxic we were and not really like how much we did love each other and how much we were there for each other. And I feel like they almost made it seem like I just hated Jack with everything in me, but it's like I've just always tried to push him to be a better version of himself. And I feel like it just didn't really get shown like how much I loved him. So
yes.
But
I think it was very apparent in the first couple episodes how much you loved him, especially
Yeah.
how broken you were when everything went down.
Mhm.
But you were the baddie that you were. And you were like, I'm not going to sit here and cry for the rest of the couple of weeks that we have for filming. It was like we had 3 weeks left.
Yeah, well, I told Jack going into the experience, I said, if you cheat on me in any type of form, I don't care if you're holding hands with the girl, I don't care if you're anything. If you cheat on me, like I'm gonna cheat on you back. Like you're not gonna play in my face this time. And so he knew that if he fucked up, it was game on.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
You were like, retaliation time. Let's
Sometimes
go.
you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Are you ready for this, Jack Jack?
Yeah.
So good. Well, no, good for
Do
you.
you think he was ready?
No, I
don't
don't
think he was ready?
I don't think he was ready at all. We saw him on the show. Bro, do we really think Jack was ever ready? I do not.
Because he acted like he didn't care. Like when he saw me like retaliate, he was just like, finally. It's like, I feel like he almost just didn't want to look like a hypocrite, but we can get into that later.
No, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it right now.
He just like, when we had a conversation after the show, I was like, why did you act like nothing that I did bothered you? Like, do you just fully not care about did you just not care about our relationship? Is that why you had no emotion? Because if that's the case, like that's crazy of you to stay with me.
Yeah.
If nothing hurt, you know, that just shows that you were already checked out and moved on. And he was just like, word for word, he was just like, I didn't want to look like a hypocrite. So yes, it hurt. And it was not an easy watch, but at the end of the day, I can't sit here and be like, what the fuck? Because
He started it. He messed up first.
Yeah.
Hey, look, fair. Annoying thing to talk about being fair about, but at least he recognized, like, I messed up first. She said she was going to retaliate. She did. I can't be mad at her now for hooking up with somebody. I fully cheated on her. Like,
Right.
fully, you know?
And I also think that he just didn't open up as much as he should have opened up because he was so worried about the way he was going to look. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I know Jack, he's a very emotional guy. Like he cries, Jack cries. Why was there no clip shown of him crying and really showing his emotion? It's because he had to put on this front because of what he did. And that's just why he went about it.
That's actually a really good point, Cheyenne, because like he didn't cry on the show. So I
Yeah.
get what you're saying where you're like, hey, I wish people saw that he actually like
Cared. Like loved me. Instead, they just made it seem like he's just the cool guy and he just doesn't care.
Right.
Other than his one little tear that he shed at the final bonfire.
No, I understand what you're saying though. It is a little frustrating, and especially for you to like know who he is.
And Jack acting like he's like this huge, like, let's spice this shit up. Like, let's do it. Like, that is not Jack at all. Like, Jack is always the shy guy that is sitting in the corner when we go out. Like, he's not an outgoing guy like that. And that just wasn't shown on the show. Like, he was just acting like somebody that he wasn't.
Did it take you a long time to adjust to cameras being all over the place?
Oh, yeah. Like, when I first saw the cameras and like how much goes into production, like, it's very scary and it's hard to be yourself and it's hard to get out of that shell.
Totally.
Because at first you're just super closed off and you're just like, this is insane. Like these cameras are everywhere.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe that was happening with Jack? Like he was like so hyper aware that the cameras
Yes.
were there, so he was putting up a front and acting like this cool boy?
Yes.
Must have
Like
been.
I feel like he was always worried about the cameras and like what he looked like and stuff because I know him.
But
like,
that's such a thing. Like
Yeah.
that's something that people don't realize happens to you when you step foot on a reality TV show set and you're jumped into this world. You dive in. You're like,
I will never forget when I did my first interview and production had the red chair sat up on this podium with all of these lights and so many people around and it is just silent. I literally, I was like, I can't do it. Like I'm freaking out.
I want to ask you something, Cheyenne, that's like kind of deep, right? About
Okay.
like watching yourself back on camera and having
Mhm.
this experience of being a reality TV star. Is like when you sat down and watched yourself, did you feel like you were watching yourself looking back at you? Like, did you have this like full circle moment and be like, wait, this is actually how I am?
Yeah, just watching it, I kind of realized like this is how the world sees me. And at some point when I was watching it, I'm like, dang, I need to take a little bit more accountability for like how vocal I am and how harsh some things can come off. But it's just crazy to think that that is how the world sees me. And so watching it, I was just like, it's crazy.
You're
It's
like,
crazy.
I can't change that.
I can't, but I could try.
But I recognize that I can't change how the world sees me in this moment, right?
Yeah.
But I recognize.
And I can grow.
But like also in your defense, of course you're going to kind of like crash out, as you guys say.
I don't think there's any way you could go onto Temptation Island and not have
a moment.
It's not possible. Like it is such a weird experience, and just the concept of the show is just crazy. And so when you're watching those things, it's just, there's no way you can't freak out. It was hard for me too, because the girls weren't going through what I was going through.
Yeah.
Like my experience was hard because of the other girls, because they weren't seeing what I was seeing. Like their clips were great. Like I would have killed to have their clips. So when I'm sitting here and I'm watching what I'm watching, and then I want to go talk to them, it's like they're still worried about their boyfriends and what they could do next. So it is really hard to talk about your problems to the girls, because at some point they're worried about their boyfriends and what they're going through. And so it's just hard to get people to really understand. And at some point you want to have someone other than guys that are obviously there to try and tempt you. And so it's hard to feel like they are truly friends when you know their intentions.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to open up.
It was hard for you because your stuff was just so much more serious.
Yeah. It was really hard for me to like see where their problems were like coming from, and like how they could be upset about certain things, because I'm sitting here and I'm seeing the craziest shit. And it's just, we just didn't relate on that type of level, you know?
100%. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the bonfires.
Okay.
The craziest part of Temptation Island, easily the wildest part, in my opinion, of any dating show, because the concept is just insane. You have to sit there and watch your partner in the other house and see if they're behaving or misbehaving.
Yeah.
What were the bonfires like for you, Shyanne?
Oh my gosh. Every time Mark came into the house and told us that we had a bonfire, your heart just sinks to your stomach. Like, and another thing is that the clips are so loud. It's not a quiet little video that you're watching. Like everything you're hearing is like blasting. It is so loud. And so it just hits 10 times harder. But I had a lot of hope going into the bonfires at first. Like when I showed up to my first bonfire, I was like, this is going to be fine. Like, I think I've prepared myself enough. I know what I signed up for. But then immediately you just hear it. And then obviously my first bonfire wasn't good. Like I'm hearing Jack say some crazy things in a game, but then I have to think back into our house and I'm like, did he really write that down? Like, was that really Jack, or did one of the boys write it down? Or did one of the girls? Like, you never know truly what the concept of the game is. And so you have to take that with a grain of salt. I can't believe I signed up for it. Like going back and thinking like I really let this man go on dates with other girls and like really get to know other girls. I'm like, I still can't believe I agreed to it. Yeah. It's insane.
It is an insane concept, but again, I give you credit for doing it.
But Mark is great. He's a great therapist. Like when we're sitting there.
Mark is the best.
Yeah, he's the best. Like the advice he was giving us while we were sitting there like crying, and you know, he was just great. Like the way he is perceived on the internet is the way he is in person. Yeah. So shout out, Mark.
So the idea of Temptation Island is absolutely insane. And everybody that watches the show and the people that love it and binge it and are obsessed with it, their minds are always blown. And they're like, why did these people agree to this? But can you please speak as somebody who went through it, that even though it's this insane concept, didn't it actually help you in the end? Like, what did it help you realize, or what did you learn about yourself from going through this insane concept?
The concept of it is crazy, and I can agree with everybody who says it. But at the end of the day, what the viewers don't see is it really does help you open up, and it just helps you put your relationship out there, the good, the bad. And it really makes you see like firsthand, like there's things to work on, and there's things that we need to fix. And throughout the experience, you can see those things start to get answers to them. And so, I mean, it works. I mean, even though you got to put yourself out there with a bunch of single people, it's like, you'll get the answers.
You'll get the answers. Yeah. And also you kind of like, did it open your eyes? Did being on Temptation Island like open your eyes to the actual truth of what was going on between you and Jack? Because I think it's so easy to just push things under the rug, right? In real life. Yeah. But doing something like this, it really makes you go like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
It does. especially when you're talking to everybody else and they're outing things out to you that you have never truly heard from anyone else, it's like, ooh, yeah, you might be right.
What's the biggest thing you learned about yourself being on Temptation Island?
By far, the biggest thing that I learned was I was so codependent on Jack. Like, I talked about it in the show and I will talk about it now. Like, I truly didn't think that I could live my life without Jack. Like, when I said that, I meant that from the bottom of my heart. Like, I thought my life was over, even thinking about the fact that Jack wasn't going to be in it. So yeah, I just learned that was very codependent, and it was something that I needed to work on. So
boom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Good for you, boo. It's a big thing to come to realization too, especially because you guys were in each other's lives for so long, you know?
Right.
I want to talk about your relationships with other people other than Jack on the show. What about the other couples on the show? Are you friends with the other girls? Are you friends?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us girls are all so close. Like, we literally were just hanging out last night. All of us are really good friends, and that's something that I'm grateful for the show, because we made great friendships.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That's good. You guys are still in each other's corners because you went through hell together.
We did.
You went to Trauma Island together.
Yes, we did. Trauma Island.
Cool,
She get
cool.
it tatted.
You actually made a friendship with Mikey after filming.
I did, yeah. We had a lot to talk about. Like, the experience was hard and not a lot of people understand. And so honestly, it was just like, finally, like, I have somebody to talk to that also went through what I went through without having a biased standpoint or like trying to protect yourself in a way.
Right.
But Sydney's still my girl. I'm picking Sydney over Mikey any day. And that's all I have to say. But I do love Mikey and I do love Sydney both. They're great people. And
that's nice to hear, though. It's an unusual friendship to say, oh, Shyanne and Mikey are friends. But it makes sense because you guys kind of got your hearts broken.
Right.
And you could relate to one another after filming and you had that experience.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice to know that you respectfully have cool relationships with both Sydney and Mikey.
Yes, but Sydney is my girl.
Sydney's number one,
Sydney is my girl.
We ride or die with the ladies.
And I just want everybody to know, like, none of us girls would have gotten through the experience without Sydney. Like, she was our backbone in the show. And from being there, like, we were all the closest with Sydney.
I love that, though. It is a fun fact for the viewers who are watching to know how solid of a person Sydney was. And she gave you guys all the most sound advice, and she gassed you up when you needed to be gassed up, and she was the shoulder to cry on when you needed to freaking cry.
She was the best. I think the best part of the show is when we're laying down on the bed and we're talking about how the red light went off. And she's just like, how can I make this better? And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, would mimosas make it better? If you want a day drink, girl, I'm here to day drink with you. And I'm like, yeah, let's go get drunk.
Mimosas.
My type of friend right there.
Do you think there's something about your Temptation Island story that maybe the audiences at home still fully don't understand?
Yeah, honestly, I think there's a bunch of things, but I think one that's very important is you have to remember, like, we only have each other when we're there. We don't have TVs. We don't have phones. I don't even think there was a damn clock. Like, we had nothing besides the people you live with. And so those conversations that you're having are very real, and you really have to dive in because there is nothing else to do. And it's not even like you can go swimming anytime you want to go swimming because you got a mic on. So it's like everything you do is just very different, but it was fun. And it was really cool to be disconnected from the world for a while, especially with the way things are. Another thing people don't understand is this is not real life. Like, yes, it was real life. Okay, that sounds bad. But you and your partner will never be on an island with a bunch of single girls. So it's like everybody that is taking it so serious and so to heart, it's like, well, it's a good thing that will never happen to you in your relationship.
Right.
We signed up for it. We asked for it. But there's no reason to like truly take everything so to heart and really shit on everyone. And it's just, it will never happen to you unless you want to sign up for Temptation Island. So
it's not like we can like just like Google Maps, like where are Temptation Islands in the world? Let's go there, boyfriend, and let's test this.
Right. And people just don't understand that. I think people really think like, oh my God, my husband or my boyfriend is going to be on an island with single girls. Like, fuck, you guys are whatever. And like, they're just going crazy. And it's like, just have respect, have love, show love to everyone. And I think that's what the viewers need to see.
So life after the show aired, are you surprised how the public is reacting to you as a person?
I'm very surprised. I thought more people were going to come for me and not support me just because of what I did was kind of a little bit childish. People could look at it in a way of like, she's just as bad. But I really have this like group of supporters behind me that are really proud of me for what I did and really standing on my ground and doing what I did. So it's crazy. It's crazy in general just to know like I kind of have like a little army behind me. So
Yeah, it must
awesome.
feel good. Like you have some fans that understand you. Yeah.
But I also like people are wanting me really bad to like tear Jack to the ground. And I feel as if he's almost getting attacked enough that I don't need to add onto it. Like he's getting the hate that he got for what he did. And I'm not the type of person that is going to go on social media and completely rip him apart and tear him to shreds because that's just not something that I'm going to do. And if people don't want to support me for that, then at some point, like, that's okay.
Cheyenne, that is so mature of you. Like, I'm so proud of you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because how many times were you at the bonfire in the house where you were like, I'm going to punch this man in the face or like anything like, just, oh my God, like all worked up, crash out central. You know what I'm saying? And like for you to say this right now, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're like, I don't need to drag him. He's already being dragged.
I think it's because I'm seeing everything that people are saying and I'm watching those videos of them tearing him down. And it's like, I did love that man for so long of my life. And so it does hurt to see that he's being dragged the way he's being dragged because Jack is a great person and he is a great guy. He just has made bad decisions. I'm not going to be
We're all human.
Yeah.
We've all made mistakes.
Right.
We've all made bad decisions. I think that's really sweet of you to be understanding. And I also think it just speaks very highly of your character, how much you've grown.
Yeah.
And also every situation is different.
Right.
Like you said, you guys were together 5 years. You were in each other's life 7 years. It's not just a 1-year relationship of him being a cheating jerk.
Right.
It goes so much deeper than that.
It does.
So that's your story. You know what I mean? Someone else, prior season of Temptation Island, they were together a year and he cheated on her multiple times before even coming to the island. That's different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Cheating is cheating. Sure, it's terrible. It's horrible in every aspect of it. But there's different levels to everyone's relationships. There's different layers to everyone's relationships. And I think that's really fair of you to be like, I'm not going to drag them.
Yeah.
I'm
not.
I talked my shit on the show.
I
don't need to talk my shit on the internet.
I did enough talking shit. I got to take it down a notch. Make people realize I'm still like, I can be.
I'm a human.
Yeah.
I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm caring. I'm sincere.
I'm passionate.
She is a passionate queen.
I'm a passionate queen.
After the show drops on Netflix, did your DMs like flood? Did you just have like all these new followers? Like how quickly did things change for you?
Overnight. Wow. Immediately when the show dropped, like DMs completely full, followers. It's crazy to watch. I'm like, is this really my life?
Yeah.
Like why do people want to follow me?
You're like, is this real life?
Is this real fucking life?
Is it? Is this real life, Shy? The best ever.
That was iconic.
It was the name of one of the episodes.
Yeah.
The title of the episode.
I know.
Because of you.
My one-liners were good.
Your one-liners were great, babe.
Yeah.
Okay, so update me on your relationship with Jack. What's the tea? Are you guys cool? Are you friends? Like, what's the deal?
I think that I'll always have him in my life. He'll always be somebody that I can talk to and we hang out, but it's just right now we've got to figure out ourselves. We've got to really let this show, process and move on and heal. But I think I will always have so much love for Jack because I was with him for so long and I grew up with him pretty much. So he'll always be that person for me, no matter if it's in a romantic setting or if it's just in a best friend way. Because like I said on the show, I don't think that I could live without him. I don't think I have to have some sort of relationship with him because he truly is my best friend. So
I totally understand that. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I get it. I know you guys did some foolish things and hooked up with other people and did some shit behind each other's back, but you have been in each other's lives for so long and from such a young age and a pivotal age into your 20s, but also even though you guys did that to each other, you were still able to sit there at that final bonfire and talk to one another. Like, you didn't yell, scream, you didn't throw hands like you said you were going to. Please, Shyanne. Because ultimately what I'm going to say at the end of the day is you guys have respect for each other. Look, we did stupid shit. We messed up. But we respect each other at the end of the day.
Yes.
Good for you, Shy.
Thank you.
Shocking?
Yeah, very shocking.
You.
And I honestly can't believe that it's gotten to like this point either, because immediately once I got off the island, like it was like, fuck you. Like I wanted nothing to do with him. And so I think just the maturity came whenever I finally decided to sit down and have a real life conversation, and just like Jack really just being like, we're not going to end it like this. Like this, we're going to talk about things and we're going to really put it all out there. And we came to the conclusion that we're still going to be friends. And it's just, we got to put all of that to the side and get those people out. If they ever brought any negativity or anything into our relationship, like there's no point to have them anymore, because if we want to be friends, then, you know, sometimes it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So
was it hard watching it back for you? Like, did it bring up like things up like that you were angry with him again, or were you kind of like in a good place at that point once you watched it?
Can I be honest with you? I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I feel like I saw so much worse at the bonfires, and like the way I felt when I initially saw it was, oh my God, this is insane. But watching it back, it's like I lived it. So I knew what happened. I mean, it did bring back some emotions of just like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah.
But not really. I just kind of like, I knew I was expecting it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'd been thinking about it for so many months, and it was just more of like, I'm ready for the shit to drop.
Do you think this experience changed Jack at all? For the good, for the better, for the worse?
Ooh. Yeah, I do think that Temptation Island changed Jack, because I think him going back and watching and seeing like the way he was acting and the things that he was doing, I think it was, he didn't recognize that version of himself. And so I think that if anything, it's going to help him now, because I know he doesn't want to be portrayed like that. And so I think that he will, if he hasn't already grown from it, I think that this is when it's going to start. Because at the end of the day, who wants to be looked at like that? So it's probably time to take some accountability and recognize it and try.
Grow up a little bit.
Grow up. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, not an easy thing to go through for the lessons to be taught and learned, but here we are, right?
Yeah.
What about for you? Do you think doing this show made you change or grow in any way?
I think that I was very immature on the show. Like, people have their opinions about it, but I went about it in a way like, if you're going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you worse, and we're going to go tit for tat. And so I don't think that I had much growth during the show, no. But watching it, it's the exact same way that I feel Jack is going to go about it. Like, going back and watching it and recognizing like, wow, this is how people are seeing me. It makes me want to try a little bit harder and have more sympathy for people and watch the things that I say, because I can be very aggressive. And so there will be growth. Yeah.
Well, I feel like just you saying that right there is growth. Yeah. So good for you.
Thank you.
Recognizing, number one, right?
Yeah.
Calling yourself out and being like, hey, I should really change that. You know what I mean? Like, that's growth.
Yeah.
That's maturity.
Yeah. I guess it's just hard to see it in yourself. Like,
totally.
Other people around me have, you know, said, you seem so different. You seem so happy. Like, you seem so much lighthearted or whatever. But it's like, it's hard to see that in yourself, because your mind is constantly running about the way you're acting.
Yeah.
Especially now that it's out there for the world. So
yeah. Well, good for you for taking accountability, girl.
Thank you.
And switching it up, changing it up, being like, yeah, you know, maybe I should not say that or do that.
Maybe I shouldn't call everybody a loser. Maybe I should quit saying that word.
Did you say it a bunch? Did you tell yourself?
Oh my God. I called Jack a loser every single day. I was like, he's a fucking loser. I hate him. I probably called him every name in the book. I was really going to assault the man at the final bonfire. I tried after the show. I didn't do it for the cameras. What did you do?
What did you do after the show?
I Ubered to Jack's hotel.
And what did you do?
I told the front desk lady that I forgot my passport in his room, and they needed to connect me immediately. and because I had a flight to catch. And they connected me to the room. And I said, hey, motherfucker.
No.
I'm home. And I was like, you need to come down to the fucking lobby right now. Like, we got shit to talk about. And Jack knows like how aggressive I can be and like how crazy I really can be. And so he was just like, we are not doing this right now, Shyanne. Like, we have got to get out of Hawaii, like whatever. And so I end up getting escorted out of the hotel after I'm done banging on all the fucking doors. And
you went for it.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted a conversation.
Yes, just a conversation. That's all you wanted.
Just a conversation.
Because the bonfire wasn't a conversation. That
Not
wasn't
enough.
good enough.
It wasn't off camera, so I couldn't say the things that I really wanted to say.
You slayed that final bonfire, by the way. Can I tell you
Thank
that?
you. I had no thought going into it. I didn't write anything down.
That was incredible. The way you held yourself, your poise,
The
your
looks.
delivery, the looks. That
If
look.
looks could kill.
What advice would you give to anybody who wants to be on reality TV or wants to do a dating show like this?
Run.
No!
Michelle, what do you want me to say to that? Look at what I had to go through.
Oh my God, Shai.
If you get hit up to go on Temptation Island, fucking run. Never look back.
You're hilarious.
Well, I've only been obviously on Temptation Island, so I feel like this show is one of the hardest shows to go on because
Period.
you're being put through so much. But just being around everything that goes into it and all the production and everything, it's just be ready. Like, it is different. Be yourself. Put yourself out there. Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, like what's the worst that could happen? You know, you get cheated on. That's it. That's the worst that could happen. Like, it really is a fun time, and it's an experience that not a lot of people get. And so if you get the opportunity, I say go for it, jump on in, and you never know.
How good do you feel that you got to experience something like this? Because I know there's tons of reality shows and we see tons of but when you really think about the number of people that get the opportunity to do something like this versus the number of people in the world, it's very small.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had someone ask to take a picture with me the other day. I was like, what?
You had a fan?
Yeah, I was like, this is crazy. But I don't know. I am just really proud of myself because, you know, I got the opportunity. I took it, and it's crazy. I hope so much more comes out of it because something better come out of it because, baby, I was put through the ringer.
Hell yeah. So what's next for you? What's your plan? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, Shyanne?
Ooh. Oh, my gosh. Michelle, you know I live in the moment. Well, I just moved to LA. My first time moving out of my hometown.
Oh.
So that's fun and different. I don't feel I've quite settled in, but I'm just kind of going with the flow. I don't know, whatever happens with this whole thing happens, and I'm just going to take any opportunity that I can get. And that's how I'm going about it.
She's a West Coast girly now.
I am.
Welcome to the LA sunshine.
I know.
All right, girl. So now that we asked all the nitty gritty questions,
Yes.
I want to have some fun.
Ooh.
I commend you immensely on growing on the show and also being civil with Jack. I think that is a big thing to be celebrated because on this show, people always are like, why do people go on Temptation Island? Like, there's no way they're going to ever be able to talk to their person ever again. Well, I have a surprise for you.
What could that be?
Come on in.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
Hey, Jack.
How are you?
Welcome, Jack.
Thank you so much for having me. Holy cow.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank
I've
you.
never done anything like this before.
This is new.
On the pod. This is new for me.
It's cool.
Again, I just want to say in front of the both of you that I think it's very commendable that you can be in the same space and that you can still respect one another as human beings, even though you both did fucked up shit to one another. You started it. Thank
did.
you.
That's right.
I want to just know, I talked a lot about this with Shyanne, what she learned from the experience, how she's changed. How do you think you changed from being on Temptation Island?
I learned how to be alone again. That's something I had a hard time with, and just learning to like self-love. I feel like I didn't love myself. I lost myself in the relationship a little bit, and I learned how to love myself again. Just simply the fact of losing Shyanne and having to be alone was like the hardest part. So I had to like
Yeah.
make myself do it.
I mean, it's a huge experience to go into something like that and be vulnerable, right? And you both did that. And I give you guys all the credit in the world because it's hard to put yourself out there on any of these shows, especially Temptation Island. Was there more of an emotional journey for you throughout filming that maybe wasn't shown?
Like emotionally, like me crying there was not a lot shown. You know, I wish they showed me crying in some of the scenes. Like me and the guys would sit around the table and I'd cry with them, and they didn't show any of it. I mean, I just look like I'm a heartless guy, but I'm a really nice guy.
You're like, I had my boohoo moments. I cried.
I know Jack. I've been around Jack for so many years that I know how vulnerable he is. And I have just seen a side to Jack that no one else has seen. And he really is such a caring and kind guy. And I wish that they would have really put that on display there too. But I can understand where that would be hard to do whenever that's not the side that he was showing. I think that Jack was finding any escape to really get deep with his emotions and really touch base on things that have caused the hurt. And so he just went for the safest escape, which was just going and being a fuckboy. And that's what he did. And he still is a good guy. And people probably won't believe me, but just take my word for it. Okay?
No,
I'm very honest. I'm very honest. I think I showed that on the show. So
yes, you are very honest.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Yeah, I wasn't heartless at all. Dude, the mornings were terrible. I couldn't text you like in normal life. You know what I mean? Like it just was terrible.
And like, I'm sure when you woke up in the morning, like the regret sank in.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
All
what
of
the
it, even
hell?
being drunk and just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
it's okay. I still think you're a good guy.
Yeah, like that's exactly why I wanted to have you guys here, for people at home who love the show, that are fans of the show, or any dating show for that matter, to see that you can come out on the other side and be civil, because you rarely see that.
Yeah.
And you
We
guys
still have our disagreements.
well, you will forever.
Always will.
Yeah.
You will forever. I mean, in fairness, you know?
I feel like, you know, we owe that time to each other to be mutual, just because we spent all that time, 6 years, and just to cut it off one day and never talk again. I just felt like it would have been wrong if we weren't mutual.
No, totally. And I think that's really mature of you guys. You know, that's what was different about your story coming into the entire experience, is that you guys were in a 5-year relationship, knew each other for 2 years. Before that, you knew 7 years you're in each other's lives, 6, 7 years, whatever. Like, how crazy to then go on national television, go through this insane experience that isn't real life, Shyanne. Isn't real life. But it was real life. And then come out of it and just be like, oh, I'm never going to talk to this person again. It's like, no, the difference for you guys, you had years of a friendship and relationship. So I think it's really cool to see like you guys on the other side of things. Jack, do you feel like when you were filming the show, you put like a guard up to your emotions because you already knew you kind of fucked up?
Yeah, once I fucked up, I knew going into the villa, me and Shyanne had the conversation that if I did anything, and I mean anything, that she was going to give Netflix a show. So once I fucked up, I just continued to drink, and my emotions kind of went out the door. And I was like, I feel like I already lost it. I know going into that bonfire, whatever one it was, I knew I was going to see what I saw. So there was that stomach feeling. I was like, it's over. So I just gave up.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have gave up. I should have just stopped right there and just gotten through the entire experience and focused on myself.
Which I think,
more.
Yeah.
I think that part of that too is like, obviously Jack fucked up, right? So look at it in the standpoint of the other relationships. So the other guys in the house with him, they're thinking to themselves like, Jack took it for the team. Like we're good now. Like at least there's something that they can show. So
Yeah.
they're more sitting there like egging him on, like wanting him to like keep going in a sense. And I feel like if maybe the guys would have been a tad bit more supportive of like, you know, think about Shyanne, like think about her feelings, think about this, which don't get me wrong, I didn't see every single conversation that they had. I'm sure
Right.
there was some of those. But even Mikey just like apologizing to me after the show, just being like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like I was egging Jack on, and like, I feel like I owe you an apology for that. And I just think that there should have been a little bit more support when it came to the relationship, but I can understand in a sense where they were like wanting him to keep going because it was taking the pressure off them.
Totally. It's like spotlights off us.
Right.
Like Jack's got it in the bag.
Yeah.
How much like do you feel this experience helped you just outside of your relationship with Shyanne, just as a person?
I mean, how many times in your life are you going to be able to watch yourself third person over the course of just however many days we were there? That never happened. So watching myself on the TV and being able to watch how I was moving, talking, and just the person I was being, I like that I get to see that because I can kind of critique myself to be a better person every single day. So, I mean, like, I'm learning every single day. I'm not going to say I changed, but I'm also trying every single day to do better.
I just think it's awesome that you guys can be cool today. But I do have to ask you a hot take question, Jack.
Okay.
Why did you want to go to Temptation Island so bad? Because you dragged this girl there. She did not want to go.
Well, originally I wanted to go on Temptation Island because I wanted to prove my loyalty to her. And it didn't go as planned.
You're as red as a cherry tomato. I've never seen someone blush like that.
It's bad. I mean, it's terrible. It sounds so bad.
Yeah. No, listen, like.
But we grow, we learn.
We grow, we learn. And I'm straight up putting you on the spot. Yeah. And thank you, Shy, for being so chill that he's here.
Did you think deep down you were going to cheat?
No, I didn't think I was going to cheat.
Just in the moment, just happened?
Yeah.
What was it?
You know, I had the guys, you know, they'd see my bonfire and my bonfire was always worse than theirs. And they would have an input like, it was everyone in my ear, to be honest with you, on top of the alcohol. And then.
But at the same time, like signing up for Temptation Island, like you knew we can't go on the show and be like, I love this man so much. We have no problems. He's the best guy in the world. Like, I love Jack. Like, that's not how you can go about the situation. Like, you're there to put your problems, you know, out for the world. And so you knew just as much as me, because we talked about it every single day on our fucking walks, that we were going to have to talk about some things and you were probably going to hear some things that could make you feel some type of way. And every day it was like, you told me like it was going to be fine, you know? So it's like, you just saying like, the guy is doing this, the guy is hearing that and pushing me or whatever. Like I can understand in a sense, but at the same time, like you knew that things could get rough through like what you could hear and the problems that we could have. So I think for that to be the reason as to why you did it it just doesn't make much sense, you know?
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, I know. It's all good.
Yeah, it's chill.
We don't live in the past.
Yeah.
We live in the present.
We live in the present.
Well, it is very safe to say, actually and factually, that Jack got tempted on Temptation Island.
Hey, what about her?
And your girl retaliated. She did exactly what she told you she was going to do. Yeah. She retaliated, okay? Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Before I saw you do any of that, I was so closed off in the house. Like, I wanted nothing to do with the guys. Like, in fact, they were all telling, like, all the girls and stuff. It didn't really make the show, but, like, she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
like
what's wrong with Shyanne?
Yeah,
why
like,
doesn't she talk to us? Yeah.
Right. So I just think you should know that I was holding it down for you until I saw that.
Yeah, I know you were.
Yes. And well, like you guys sitting here right now, like what is it? Like look how like you took a fuzz off his shoulder. Like you're still so sweet. Like what is it about you guys that you still want to stay in each other's lives and you're like chill?
I just think that I have so much love for Jack. Like no matter how things ended or how things went, like on the island, I know who he is. Like I've seen a different side of Jack that the world didn't get to see. And I just think that I'll always have love for him in that sense.
Yeah.
And I do think that he's a great guy. He's done obviously some bad things, but I don't think that that is who you are, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's why we're able to just continue to be friends and to, you know,
be civil. Yeah.
But we do like argue still, even as friends. So it is a little hard, you know,
text
like
message here or there where it's like, oh, you said this in the show. And I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, you did because it's on camera.
Well, how do you feel about that question I asked, Jack? Like that you guys are still civil and friends?
I feel like that's the only right way. We spent all this time together, and it's like at the end of the day, I want to support her even if I'm not with her, and I hope I can do that forever.
Yeah.
You know, but if there's ever another guy, I'm sure I won't be able to, but I'll do it from afar. And I feel like we spent all that time, so why not support each other and through the journey that we're putting ourselves through now.
Yeah.
Like we didn't go on that TV show, and the journey's not over. We're still going through it. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, we're here.
Why not have fun? We're going to see each other all the time when we go to the stuff like this. So it's like, let's be civil and let's just be on a good page.
Yeah.
And love each other from afar.
That's sweet and fair. I think also, please don't get angry with me for saying this, but you guys are still so young, and I don't mean that in any sort of a demeaning way. I just think it's like easier to forgive and forget when you're young. You know what I mean? You guys don't own a home together. You don't have children together. Like there's none of the serious like adult things of the relationship. Yeah. So I think it's really serious and very mature of you guys to act the way you're acting now. 'Cause it's only going to build a better foundation for the people that you guys just become and keep growing into, you know? I think it's
100%
awesome.
agree.
Yeah. So even though the show's like super heavy and people look at it kind of in a negative light, like if you go on the show, it's like relationship demise, like it's the end of it. Is there anything positive you can say from the experience?
You know, even living in the villa, you feel in that moment, your world's over. Especially mine with my experience. I felt like my world was over. And eventually, like when I got off the island, you know, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. After I left the villa, I got home and I actually picked Shyanne up from the airport, and I wanted to have a conversation with her because I didn't get to after the show.
Right.
And I wanted just to be straight up and talk and tell her everything I did on the show, no matter if it was going to be shown or not, because I didn't want her to see something or not see something or come back later and be like, hey, this happened. I don't want to deal with the drama. So I just came clean. We came clean.
We went clean on everything. It was like, we came to the conclusion of like, it's pretty much like, fuck you. And then after Jack sat with himself for a while, that's when he reached out to me and was like, I want to have a conversation and I want to get closure and I want to just kind of speak about this in a mature way. And that's what we did.
What compelled you to reach back out to Shyanne and be like, yo, I need closure?
I just had that stomach feeling. I felt like she deserved everything of the truth of what I lived. She didn't get to see the way I lived or what I did. So I feel like after the whole show, I wanted to tell her everything. I wanted to spill the beans just so when the show came out or people were talking, because that's what people are going to do, I wanted her to just know it all. And I wanted just to, I don't know. I just feel like that would have made her feel better if she knew it rather than not knowing.
Fair. And you were probably in your gut, like, I know I screwed up. I did all this terrible shit. Sorry. And I just want to tell her, like, right? Like, it was like sitting on you. I'm sure it was like a knot in your stomach.
Terrible.
Again, you guys have known each other all these years. You're like, I got to just tell her and come clean and feel like, you know, feel like you could be where you're at now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. And I think it's fair. I think it's a totally an emotional roller coaster going onto a reality show, going onto a dating show, and specifically Temptation Island. So I said this to Shy and I'll say this to you. Just giving you guys the credit for putting yourself out there to begin with is half of the battle. And then going out and being yourselves is the other half. But I think coming out of it at the end and actually being stronger and a better version of yourself is incredible. And the best thing, guys, I'm serious, it's the best thing that you could ask for. And it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, let's not get some tequila shots in them. Who knows what's going to happen?
No.
Maybe Shyanne will actually get arrested and assault you.
She would.
So Shyanne told me a little behind the scenes about the ending night after the bonfire, show's done, cameras are cut. It's all like, you're getting on your flights the next day. She told me that she showed up at your hotel.
Yeah, I was sitting in the hotel room and the phone starts ringing and I pick it up and Shyanne answers and she goes, answer, what fucking room are you in? And you better come out here. What'd she say?
Maybe in the lobby so I can beat the shit out of you.
And yeah, I was like, in that moment, I had cast management in my room. They escort me to the airport and Cheyenne's calling me and she's like, I'm going to beat her ass. I'm going to beat your ass. You better get the fuck down here. I told them I need my passport. Like, what room are you in? And I was just like, oh no.
Shyanne, you've never beat Jack's ass. Have you ever?
No, she could.
She's all talk.
No, she's all talk. She's little, but she could fight.
Yeah, she's the firecracker of the season. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Period, hand down. Like, no question. No one top Shy. She's the star.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like, now can you imagine if you guys weren't on the show?
Life would be maybe.
I don't think it would be a Netflix
No.
top 10. I don't think so.
I don't know
I
if
think
it
it would have
would.
never hit the top 10
No.
once.
I think we definitely brought the drama.
Yeah, we brought the show
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
I think we did our big one there.
So what's next for you guys? You both moved to LA, right? Cheyenne told me you moved to LA, but have you moved here too?
I'm here. Crazy enough. I know, actually crazy enough, we're both
You
here in
can't
LA.
stay away, I'm telling you.
Hey, I came out here and visited and was looking at places, and I texted her like, I'm going to move to West Hollywood and I'm moving with a buddy of mine back home. And she's like, I'm moving to LA too. And I was like, oh, okay. She's moving with one of her friends back in Kansas City. And it just happened to be that we were both living in West Hollywood.
It's just so interesting. You know what I mean? That you're just kind of still in each other's lives.
Jack wanted me to live by him. Like, he acts like we both ended up in West Hollywood.
I got to make sure she's okay. She's never moved out of state before.
Okay. You may have done her dirty on Netflix,
Yeah.
but this is cute
But
that you
I
still
owe,
want to
I owe it
protect
to her. You know what I mean? Like I owe it
You
a
owe
little
it to
bit. Yeah, yeah.
her. All right. Okay, listen. I think this is why you're able to be civil, because you
Yeah.
have good hearts, the both of you. You know what I'm saying? Deep
Yeah.
down, it's not like you're monsters. You just made mistakes, and we all do.
Correct. Yeah.
So, like, are you guys going to start dating or what?
No. No. I'm trying to live a little bit.
Never again?
No, I'm not going to say never. No.
Oh.
The
That's
door's not
deep.
closed. Maybe later in life. Maybe 5 years from now. I don't know. You never know.
Cue Justin Bieber. Never
You
say
say- I was
never.
about Yeah, never say never.
So, what would you guys say is your relationship now? Like, how would you guys talk about it?
I think our relationship is being each other's biggest support systems. Like, I think supporting each other to the max on our journeys. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, a month from now. And whatever she wants to do in life, I can't wait to see what she does. I know that she has dreams and aspirations that she wants to reach. And LA was just the big move for that. And I was so happy when she was like, I'm going to move there, because I told her years ago, like, I want to move to LA. And she's like, I'm never living in LA. I'm never doing it. I hate LA. And now she's here. And now she's going to thrive. I know she's going to do great things. And just being mutual and just loving each other from afar and staying on that good path is basically what I'm focused on for us, because everything that happened on the show, I feel like that's what she deserves, no matter if she hates me or not. But
I don't hate you. For me, our relationship is, we truly will always have love for each other. And I do look at Jack as my best friend, and we still hang out. We still go get brunch or whatever. Like, we'll always be on those good terms. But the way I looked at it after the show was just, Jack is he's going through it right now. There's no getting around that. And when this show comes out, it is about to be bad. Like, you can't control the media. You can't argue with the media. So you just have to go with it. And I was just like, I don't want to be one of those haters towards him. Like, I want to be able to, support him, because I know that he won't have as much as,
Yeah.
No,
that's
how it
sweet.
went.
Like,
He
so
was the
many
villain.
people. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. You're painted as the villain. So many people are coming for you online. Cheyenne's like, I'm the last person that wants to add fuel to that fire. You
Right.
know? Which, like,
it's just not worth it. Mental health, I feel, means a lot more than your next post with the highest views. So it's
Totally.
just like, I'll continue to uplift him and make, I'm his biggest supporter at the end of the day. I'll be the one to let everybody know who Jack, I said, that's Jack. But, there's
But
a
now
different
this
side
is
to Jack.
And now this
Yeah.
is Cheyenne. Like, I give you guys credit. So cute. I think the coolest thing about where you guys are at right now is it's been an entire year since filming. Like, so much has passed. So much has happened. There's been loads of experiences, conversation, things, and you guys are still here right now. Like, how much does it mean to you for you guys to be in this place? Because I feel where you guys are at, super inspirational.
I just think time heals. And I think since it's almost been a year since the show released, the time has healed a lot. I mean, there's been a lot of alone time in between that, but at the same time, we kept in contact and communicated and called each other and went to lunch every once in a while. But having that space away from each other and healing, that's why we're here right now. I mean, I feel like we wouldn't be able to do that a few months ago, and it worked.
Did you guys ever think that people would look at you and be like, wait, they're kind of inspirational?
No, never.
No, but it's so crazy
No,
because
never.
we were at the reunion, and after us dishing it out and us having our conversations and getting deep and crying and whatever happened at the reunion, it's like every single one of the couples was like, we ship you guys. Like all of this. Even Nick Vile was like, I don't know if I should be saying this on here, but like, I'm kind of in support. And me and Jack, I'm just looking at Jack. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well,
like,
shout out
but-
Nick Vile. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, again, thank you times a million for being here. It takes a lot to put yourself out on national television, but then also a year later to sit down and have conversations and keep rehashing it and talking about it.
Mhm.
And kudos to you for being an inspirational story at the end of all the drama. All right. Thank you guys again. And everyone at home, you know what's up. When it comes to reality TV, I've got Dibs on This. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.